What's up guys, and welcome to Graphic Designer Pro. In this video we'll be running through some of the great tips for any freelance graphic designers out there. You can also download a free freelance checklist guide from the description below that you can use to follow along with this tutorial. Okay, I'll pass you over to Rory now, who will take you through these pointers.
This list has been compiled by Designer Daily, which is a really good online resource, but we're going to be focusing on the tips that we feel are most relevant in this field. Now, the article we're going to be looking at today was featured in one of our recent Design Talk emails, so if you haven't already subscribed, then check out the link in the description below. But basically, these emails go out each week and have lots of useful resources and links to topical articles in the design world. We've also linked this page in the description below, which has all of our previous issues as well, if you want to go back and have a look at any of them. So I'm going to click on issue 27 here, and this is what you can expect from these emails. We have color schemes, free typefaces, terminology, and links to our recent YouTube videos, as well as featured articles, like we say, on topical things within the graphic design world. So in this example, we have our tips for succeeding as a freelance graphic designer, courtesy of Designer Daily. So this is the Designer Daily website. If you want to check out this article for yourself, we'll also link that in the description below. It has a fair few tips within here and a little bit more information about each of them, but we're going to run through the tips that we feel are most applicable to freelance designers. So starting with the first one here, find clarity and keep the focus. This is incredibly important, I would say. You always want to try and keep a clear idea of your goals within your career and just your day-to-day running of your business. As soon as you try to take too much on, or just generally try to scale your business too quickly, this is when things can get a little bit foggy and you actually become less productive. So having that clarity and focus is very important. Setting yourself realistic goals each week or each day even can really help in how much you get done and how effective you are in doing your tasks as well. We use software like Monday.com for task management, which can also be very useful. So if you don't already, check out resources like that, as this can really help. Now, this tip links to the previous one, and that is to master one thing or to niche in a specific area. This is something that more and more designers are subscribing to. Again, it will keep your day-to-day work clear and focused, as if you can do this, you're going to be working on the same types of projects over and over and getting stronger and stronger the more you do. So instead of trying to be a jack of all trades, trying to do websites, logos, brochure designs, packaging, you name it, if you try to do too many things, you're going to spread yourself thin and you're going to also struggle to master any one of them. So having a focused area can really help refine your design process and just your career in general. Now, that's not to say that you shouldn't take on other types of projects as well. It can be very useful to work on a range of things. However, having one thing that you've truly mastered will allow you to create much higher quality work in that area that will in turn get you more business. So I would highly recommend doing this. Now, the next tip we're going to highlight here is to start a website or blog. Now, I'm going to put a slight spin on this and to say, instead of starting a website or blog specifically, I just think it's a great idea to have some kind of creative outlet online. So that could be an Instagram account, it could be a Behance page. Now, this, you may think, goes hand in hand with a portfolio, but what I'm talking about is something that you can update regularly without having to put too much thought into it. Especially with something like Instagram, if you're creating small designs or even behind the scenes of what you're doing, it's very easy to put out images on there and keep your clients and peers in the loop about what you're doing. It makes you look busy and it shows your dedication to the industry as well. So I would highly recommend doing that if you haven't already. Now, the next tip may seem obvious as well, but that is to simply be prepared. Now, what this article goes on to say is that if you don't take time to think about all of the resources you're going to need or the direction you're going to take with any given project, this can lead to issues down the line. So you always want to be prepared. Make sure that you have any software or hardware that you're going to need for a project, or that you've contacted service providers if that's also going to be needed. A lack of preparation can really hurt you in certain instances. Now the next tip we're looking at is to find and adapt your workplace. Now this is an especially important thing, especially for those working at home, which I imagine a lot of you are doing at the moment, and it's very important to find a space that you enjoy working in. The beauty of working from home is that you can really make this your own. You can style the office in your own way and set it up in a way that you feel comfortable. Again, this can really help with productivity and just your satisfaction in your job. The other option is to find co-working spaces. Again, at the time of recording, this may not be possible. However, it can be a great solution for those looking to get out of the house and find a dedicated office space to work in. This can also help with productivity for a lot of people. It's also a good chance to potentially meet other designers or creatives that you can collaborate with or get insight from, so there are benefits to both. Another tip here is to build your network through social media. Now this should be an obvious one for any freelance designers. It's so important nowadays to build a network, and we've got so many great options to do this on social media. So particularly with platforms like Facebook and LinkedIn, this is a great way to find potential clients, offer your services, and meet other creatives as well to collaborate with. If you're not doing this, you're really reducing your chances of scaling your business and landing new work. And it's such an easy thing to be able to do. It's all completely free as well, so you should really consider utilizing social media if you aren't already. Now, another really important point is to learn to say no. Now, especially early on in your freelance career, it can be tempting to say yes to absolutely everything. However, if you're not careful, this can lead to clients taking advantage of you or simply taking on too much work that you're not able to deliver on. So if you are in that situation where you already have work, learning to say no will really help you in the long run. The next tip is something I wish I had taken into account more when I first started in freelance graphic design, and that is to make realistic deliveries. Often you want to try and impress straight away, and you may say that you'll be able to do something in an unrealistic timescale. You have to remember that your clients don't always appreciate how long things take, and it's up to you to work out just how long you're going to need to spend on a project, relay that to your client so that expectations are managed and you're going to deliver on time. Again, good planning and task management will really help with this, linking back to some of the previous tips we've looked at. And last but not least in this list, I think this is one of the best tips out there, and that is just to be a kind person. This is one of the easiest things to do, and it goes a really long way in the relationship you have with your clients and peers. This is important, I think, even if you miss out on a potential job, as you never know when someone is going to come back to you potentially down the line for future work. It's going to give you a much better chance of being recommended to other people as well, and word of mouth is a really powerful way of gaining new business. But that rounds up this list of really great tips for succeeding as a freelance graphic designer.
Okay guys, that's it. If you have any questions, then drop a comment down below and we'll do our best to help.
If you want to learn more about graphic design, we've put together a free 1-hour training where you'll discover the top 5 secrets of successful designers, which saves you the hassle of trying to figure it all out for yourself. We'll be showing you how to immerse yourself in the sector you're designing for, creative thinking and how to spark creativity, what good composition is and how you can achieve it in your designs, how to pick the right colours for your designs, and how to pick the right typefaces for your projects. So if you're serious about leveling up as a graphic designer, then make sure to sign up for the next free webinar. Space is limited and these events always fill up fast because they're significantly better than the information others charge you for, and ours is free. The link's in the description, you're not going to want to miss it. I'll see you there.